Welcome to the first video of our JF2000 internal elastomeric tube swedger. This swedger is a portable unit which has no outside source of power. The hydraulic force generated by the pump is the total force to generate a perfect swedge. We're going to run through some of the components that make up this swedging machine. One, we're going to point out here, this is a hydraulic cylinder, and it has a capacity of 3,000 psi. We have a top locking clamp for the ring, you'll see that later, and we have our head mounting assembly for all of our tooling. The pump here, which is a P30 simplex pump, providing all of the pressure necessary up to 10,000 psi. We'll move up here to our crystal gauge. It's made by Crystal Engineering. It's a high-end resolution gauge. It has the capacity of 1/4 of 1 pound at full scale. As we move along to some of the other items here, we want to also bring out the fact that we have a 232 port which you can plug in and bring to your laptop, transferring all of the information that you want to save for doing grafting or for history. We're going to get into now the assembly of the individual tooling to make up the swedge. What we want to show you here today is the what we call the anvil, whereby the fitting sits into as it's being swedged together. So this is the very neat tolerance, very tight tolerance. You'll see as we go along and how all this is done. We're going to go ahead and assemble the tooling by threading into the head assembly. This will be followed by a draw bolt assembly, which is made up of a number of parts. We have the draw bolt, the expander, which during the swedging process expands outward, creating the necessary force to create the swedge. We have the split rings in order to protect the expander from damage during the swedge process. We'll go ahead and assemble this thing now and let you takes a moment for screwing it in. We'll present it all the way to the end. We'll back it off so that we don't have undue force required to when we want to take it apart. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the closure ring. This ring captures a two-piece die during the swedging process. This will be slipped all the way back in preparation for installing our two-piece die. The two-piece dies here will come together, and as we can see, we'll show you that the fitting during the swedging process will be captured in the cavity of the dies and not allow any marks, tooling marks of any kind. So this is how precision these dies are. What we're going to do is we will put those there for now, and we will prepare our tube and fitting to be swedged. What we'll do is, you can see, we will lube the inside, lube our expander, and then we will install and make sure that it's pushed all the way in. Make sure that we bring our fitting fully forward. We'll take our two die halves, bring them together. We will then slip our closure ring, our clamping ring forward. We then will bring our clamping device forward, and we are ready to swedge. The purpose of this is to not allow the movement during the swedging process for the dies to open up, thereby creating an absolute perfect capture of the dies. We'll demonstrate by using the pump assembly. We will, knowing going forward, the operator will then close the valve. He is now ready for swedging. The operator, it says, selects the desired pressure he wants. In this case, it would be 500 psi. We will then prepare ourselves to bring up the swedge. It requires about 3 pumps of the pump, slow, and there's no rapid movement. And then when he approaches the desired pressure that he's looking for, he can just stop, hold it for as long as he wishes. The swedge is complete. He'll go ahead at that point, back off the pressure. He will then release the locking mechanism for the ring, and then move the closure ring, releasing the 2 die halves. And at that point, he will then grab the new fitting and tube assembly, slip it off, and then making an observation of the inside diameter of the tube, you can see that the formation of the material, which is the tube, pushed into the cavity of the fitting, creating that 2-groove bond, creating a liquid tight, absolute strong double layered swedge. These grooves can be measured and should be measured so that we make sure that the depth is sufficient so that the fitting will not be loose on the tube. This is another process we'll show you in your next video. All of the things that we mentioned here today are captured in a owner's manual, and it's titled, again, the JF2000. We'd like to also mention 2 other swedgers that are semi-automatic. We reason because they're powered by 220 power, the JF4000 and the JF6000. Those are on our website. Please visit our website for more information. Thank you.